Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
The way she right, like the way she rock her body. The way she right, like the way she rock her body. The way she right, like the way she rock her body. The way she right, like the way she rock her body. The way she right, like the way she rock her body.
Contract, no compromise. Okay, Dianna. He says, hello, good morning, how are you?
You guys are on one today.
Yeah,
I love this.
We're coming in hot.
Every day,
Yes.
Dan. So Key says they must win a Super Bowl this year with Matthew Stafford. Get to the Super Bowl. Or it's a disaster. Jay, you say they got to get to the conference finals,
Yes.
or it's a disaster. I say they must win a Super Bowl while Stafford's in L.A., but this year, to avoid disaster, Stafford must win a playoff
We
game.
all said they must
Where
win a Super
are
Bowl
you?
while he's in the win.
Once again, and I don't know what this trend is lately, I'm with Key on this. I think they 100% need to get to the Super Bowl. The pressure has been on Sean McVay. Let's just go macro on this, on this young boy genius that he's been sort of coined, right, over the last few seasons. We know it didn't work with Jared Goff. Yes, it worked in a sense because they were able to go as far as they did. But they traded away everything to get Matthew Stafford. This is not for the future. This is for right now. And if they don't get to the Super Bowl here, this is considered, I view it as a failure for the Rams on Les Snead and Sean McVay. Look, we all are quick to say, wow, look how aggressive they are trying to get these players to go out there and win. What other GMs out here in on every deal? And guys, I talked to a lot of teams who are in on trades and during free agency. And it does feel like the Rams are always in it. We knew with the Odell Beckham situation, they were the quiet guys in the background. They came in late on that. But they had their eye on it the whole time because that's their mentality is we got to get pieces because we need to win now. So go win now.
And that's what Diana's saying, right? Think about it, Jay and Max. She brought up Odell. Odell was acquired when Robert Woods was still active and not hurt. Von Miller was acquired when Robert Woods was active and still
trying
hurt.
to win the Super Bowl.
You don't go and do all of that to win a playoff
No,
game.
of course, every team
it
wants to
doesn't-
win the
so
Super Bowl,
wait,
of course.
So, Di, if they get to the NFC Championship game and say they lose by a touchdown,
Yeah.
you're going to call that a failure in year one?
Because it's year
You're
one.
gonna
That's
call
my
that a
point,
failure
Dianna.
in year
It's
one?
year one. He's
Year
not there
one of-
for a year.
And I know all the pieces are there,
No,
but
they
you're not going to say,
have
hey,
the
we're
time.
inches off?
They have the time, and I get that, but why are you so patient all of a sudden? I don't think we give. Like, now we're going to be patient.
What I'm
now we're
saying
going to
is,
say.
what is a disaster? Like, what does he have to do to avoid disaster? To me, Stafford, who's never won a playoff game, everyone's blamed Detroit, right? However, if he goes to L.A., they moved mountains to get him and still doesn't win a playoff game, that's up in flames,
Yeah, we
right?
can agree on
Well,
that.
what I'm saying is if
That's
he
different.
wins a playoff game this year, but they don't get to where they want to go, but then next year they come back and win a Super Bowl, it was a success.
Here's what happens in this, and Diana can speak to this too. You don't win a playoff game, that's an indictment on him. If they don't get to the Super Bowl, it's an indictment on all of them, including Les Snead, including Stafford, including Sean
Well,
McVay.
the only reason that would be the case this year, Dianna, is because they don't have any draft picks ever again, right? So that's the
No, they
real
do
issue.
in like 2046.
Yeah, right. That's
Well,
the issue.
And that might be like a
We'll
fifth
just be
rounder.
41 by then, 42 by then.
Bunch of undrafted
I'll
free
be
agents
34.
coming up.
Guys, the other storyline to this that we're not adding, or at least considering, is the health of Matthew Stafford, right? So for the last few weeks, you've seen a different Matthew Stafford, and he is going to go up there because he is one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league. He's not going to go up and talk about his injuries. He knows everyone's banged up. Every quarterback is dealing with injuries. But how significant are these injuries? Is this going to be something that's going to prevent them from going far? I spoke to sources in LA. They told me he deals with chronic back pain. That means every day he wakes up, his back hurts him. And he manages it well, right? But he also has, sore ankles, elbows, all these different things that you have to consider. And will it be the reason they can't go that far?
But you bought that.
You did.
Knowing that.
You did.
From the history and the medical reports that you got on his chart.
Maybe
you
there-
bought that.
Maybe there's a reason why he was in the jacuzzi, because of the back. I get it. It's all coming together now.
That's how the deal went down. Yeah.
Well, the back, I'm just warming it up.
Those back injuries.
Your face key on the jacuzzi.
So just staying in the NFC, take someone like Dak Prescott, look at Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray. Let's leave Rodgers and Brady out of this. Of those guys, who needs to win multiple playoff games the most? Not just a playoff game, okay, you want to play, but in order for this season to be, moving forward for the team, who needs to win multiple playoff games the most? Dak, Kyler, and Stafford.
Stafford. I'm going to just double down on this argument that we're making here that it is on Matthew Stafford because everything they did to get him. But I think Kyler Murray has the best chances to win the most because he's the healthiest, right? He's taken almost over a month of rest to get that ankle back. And it's pretty clear he is the most dangerous quarterback when he's healthy at this point. You have Lamar Jackson in there as well. I know that's something else that we were discussing is the pressure on him. Absolutely. I think he's dealing with the most pressure.
How far
Lamar
off
is, you think?
Yes.
How far off is that, considering he's the third highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
I think it's a lot of pressure on Dak because he's already gone to the divisional round.
Yep.
He's got to go up from there. He's third highest paid quarterback in the league. They loaded up similar to Matthew Stafford, where they got a lot of pieces in play, and they got a former Super Bowl winning head coach. And the expectations of the Dallas Cowboys was to be a Super Bowl contender this year. He's got to at least get this team to the NFC Championship.
Got to win 2 games.
He's got to get them there.
Here's the problem.
At least.
Are they the 6-1 Dallas Cowboys team we saw at the beginning of the season? I don't think they're as good as that team. I also don't think they're as bad as they were against the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it's somewhere in between.
Let's say, okay, Dak needs to win 2. I think you can kind of form a consensus around that. You say there's a lot of pressure on Lamar. It would be nice for him to win 2. He's already won 1. Let's keep it moving forward. Lots of injuries, though. You said the most pressure on Lamar. When I think of all the quarterbacks in the league at this moment, Aaron Rodgers might have the most pressure to win a Super Bowl, considering Tom Brady in his first year in the NFC, no Belichick, right, gets by Rodgers, and coach takes the ball out of Rodgers' hands, hands it to Tom Brady, and Brady wins the whole thing. And Rodgers got a loaded team, all the stuff surrounding him in the offseason, everything he's been through this season. Is there anyone with more pressure to win the whole thing than Rodgers this year?
I don't look at that perspective. I don't see it that way. First of all, I think if anyone can handle the pressure, it's Aaron Rodgers. I don't really think he has any issues with that. Pressure, look, everyone is going to have the pressure. I just don't think it's Aaron at this point. I think it's still going to be Lamar to take this team far. I know we have the injuries that we're discussing. They have a slew of them. They're one of the most injured teams probably outside the Tennessee Titans at this point. But at what point is he going to be the quarterback that is 100% definitely the future for the Ravens?
Soon as they give him that $350 million in a couple months.
And they're going to give it to him.
No, they will.
Yeah.
They
So
are. He is the future.
Okay.
But do you believe in him at this point? Do you believe?
absolutely.
Yeah, I do.
You
Absolutely.
believe in Lamar?
They're 8-4 considering all the injuries.
8-4 is great. But what you've seen of Lamar the last few weeks, you're telling me that you trust him with the interceptions he's throwing, his inability to pick up the blitz. He's struggling. This is not the same Lamar that we've seen.
This is pure conjecture. Pure conjecture. I saw Cam after he got COVID last year, and I speculated aloud on television. I've heard of COVID fog, right? And then several weeks later, he started talking about it. I wonder about that. Lamar is like 2 different players. Early in the season, he was picking up the blitz fine. He was killing everybody. And then the last couple of weeks, it's like, whoa, what just happened? Something's going on.
Dianna, Lamar has an opportunity and a little bit of time they can figure that out. The pressure is on Aaron Rodgers immensely. And here's why. You go through everything we went through in the offseason. We followed him around for months. The drama, the this, the that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm coming. I don't know if I'm going. Then he got a little mishap with the COVID situation. A little white lie here and there, whatever the case may be. And you've been there 2 times already. You were chasing, or not necessarily chasing, depending on who you ask it. There was another legend that played in that stadium as well, named Brett Favre. You also had a coach named Mike McCarthy that for 5 years, he didn't give you enough, they didn't give you enough, you didn't win. So now you go in and you arguably have one of the top young coaches in the game in Matt LaFleur, who's taking you to 2 NFC championship games, even though whatever happened at the end of the game last year, it was a mishap, whatever. Now we're at a situation where we're at now where you look like a pretty damn good team that can get there. And if you don't get there with everything that I just put together, what is that?
What's going to happen? He wants to leave anyway.
But the pressure
Maybe
to
not,
win.
though.
Pressure to win for what?
Because you're
His
Aaron
legacy's
damn
at stake.
Rodgers.
His legacy.
Aaron Rodgers, whether he wins the Super Bowl this year or not, will still go down, and I still consider him to be the best quarterback in football.
Yeah, but you know what? That I've ever seen. he will not be remembered that way if he sits on one Super Bowl for the rest of his